Hi, everybody. My name is Angelica Robinson with the Emerging Youth Channel. I am an enrolled agent, but I am not your enrolled agent. So let's go ahead and read the disclaimer. Before we get started, I do want to acknowledge everything that's been going on with people damaging Teslas altogether. I think it's crazy how you can just damage somebody else's property because of how you feel and because you might disagree with something. But that's just my opinion. You guys let me know how you feel. Have any of you guys that own Teslas, has it gotten damaged? Have you guys had any threats? What's going on out there? Drop the comments below. Let me know your guys' opinions before we get started, okay? Today, we are going to talk about how a Tesla Cybertruck can save you big money on taxes. Can this futuristic truck actually put money back into my pocket? Well, today I'm going to break it down. Could this be save you thousands? Technically, the answer is yes, but only if you follow certain IRS rules. The key to understanding how tax deductions work for business vehicles. Now, today we're going to talk about not only why the Cybertruck qualifies, how Section 179 and bonus depreciation work, the 50% business rule, the importance of tracking your mileage along with any other expenses. So, navigating the Cybertruck deductions. The IRS treats all cars differently, but one special magic number is 6,000 pounds or more. The Cybertruck is way more than 6,000 pounds. So that means you technically get a bigger deduction. Now, Section 179 lets business owners write off a bigger purchase faster, meaning instead of spreading out your 5 years, you can deduct it within that first year. When I say you can deduct it in the first year, that means you can deduct that bonus depreciation amount in that first year. But keep in mind, your business has to be making money to use this deduction. So, since the Cybertruck is a heavy vehicle, it qualifies for Section 179, meaning if your truck costs $80,000, you might be able to write off most of that the first year. But remember, it must be used for more than 50% of the business. So you have to use that vehicle for more than 50% of the time for business. Bonus depreciation, an extra way to deduct business expenses. So in 2024, you could deduct 60%. This number is actually going to drop every year. So by 2026, that depreciation goes down to 20%. But I also want you to keep in mind that the 50% rule is a very important rule that you guys need to know. You must use the truck for business for at least 50% of the time. Now, this counts as driving to clients, deliveries, job sites, but what doesn't count is the personal miles, driving to the grocery store, taking kids to school, road trips. All of that is personal. So, what you're going to come across is a lot of common hurdles and concerns. The complex tax law. You need to know how the bonus depreciation or the standard depreciation works. You need to have a clear understanding. Special vehicle classification. Just like I said, the Cybertruck is treated differently than regular cars because of how heavy it is. Proving business use. You have to prove that your Cybertruck is going to be used for more than 50% business. You got to show your mileage, you got to show your expenses, you got to show or be able to show how you are using your Cybertruck for business. Audit risk. I'm not going to speak on how much of an audit risk you can get because I feel like an audit is going to happen regardless. Sometimes the IRS picks and chooses who they want to audit and has their reasons. Sometimes it could be as simple as letting somebody do your tax return and that tax preparer actually gets audited, meaning there's a chance that everybody's return that they worked on could get audited, or it could be a luck of the draw. So it's always an audit risk. So you always want to make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's. Now we spoke about the Cybertruck's weight and what it means in that it is over 6,000 pounds, which technically means you could have some bigger tax deductions. Now, Section 179 accelerates your write-off. You have the qualifying Cybertruck. You use it for more than 50% business. And then you are allowed to write off the entire cost in 1 year. But your business needs to be profitable, and you have to be able to show that you use this truck for more than 50% of business. There are limitations, and they may be some other qualifications or requirements. And that's when I say get with your CPA or your tax preparer before going further. This chart here shows the bonus depreciation and how it lowers every year by 20%. You see, it starts with 80, 60, 40. By the end of 2026, you're going to 20%. Now, the golden rule: business use must exceed 50%. That is the golden rule. You got to show that you're using it for more than 50% of business. That includes client meetings, job sites, running errands for the business, going here, going there. Not using it for personal use, commuting, personal errands, vacations, and whatnot. Make it for a business. So if you're going to take a vacation or you're going to a meetup for business, as long as it's business, you could write off your mileage. Okay. So keep that in mind. Just trying to be aware that using it for business is your main and highest. Record keeping is a high one. If you can't prove your business use, you may lose your deduction if you were to ever get audited. Use a mileage tracking app. Best thing I ever did. I have an app. It tracks my mileage. It tracks my receipts. Save receipts for repairs, for maintenance, or anything else. Find an app that works for you. Take a picture of it. Store it in the database so that you don't have to physically take the receipt. Because we know 9 times out of 10, if you get a receipt, it fades over time. Best thing you can do is get an app. So one of the risks is the recapturing risk. If you decide to stop using the vehicle for business, selling it or using it less than 50% for business, you have to run the recapturing rule. That's a whole separate video that will drop later, so you guys can grasp the understanding of what recapturing means and how that process works. But I just wanted to give you guys an idea on how you could technically use a Cybertruck for business purposes. Now, this is not limited to a Cybertruck. You could use this for another vehicle, any other make or model, following the same rules as long as it is used for more than 50% of business, tracking your records and whatnot. You do have the opportunity for the bonus depreciation or even the standard depreciation. Now, like I said before, though, before you guys do anything, get with a tax professional, CPA, or whoever it is that does your taxes, and make sure you are knowledgeable and that you have a system in order to take these deductions. Make sure you are covered. Okay. All right, you guys. So that wraps up this video. If you have any questions, drop them below. Make sure you like the video for the algorithm, share with somebody who needs to be in the know, and subscribe for all financial and tax tips going forward. Until next time.